Back to the channel. So here we are, we're in the setup, we're in the garage. It's just a single car garage, probably about 2.5 meters wide or something. I can't even fit my whole car in here with me standing at the back. So yeah, most of the work that you see me doing on my car, I'll be doing in this tiny garage. I have a light here and I use this light sometimes, but basically in the last episode you saw us go over the car. You saw how rough it is, and now in this episode we're going to be getting some work sorted for just tidying up a few things here and there to get it roadworthy, so we can get that warrant fitness. So the headlights is what I'm going to be working on first, and as you can see in here we have a lot of moisture and they're quite faded. I got my cheap Azito heat gun here. So basically you just want it on a low setting and a low heat, but basically you just want to get it in there and just heat up the housing here to evaporate some of that water. A little bit longer on this and then we can start polishing it up. So when we open up the boot here, we have a little bit of surface rust starting to bubble up through the paint. This is one for all my EF guys out there. Have you ever come across an EF that doesn't have blown struts for the boot? I've had 3 of them, and all 3 of them have had blown struts. Anyway, this is what we're using to tackle the rust. We have 180 grit sandpaper just to expose the rust. Then we'll take out all the scratches with this 240 grit. Then we'll go over it with some etched primer, paint matched paint, and then just an aerosol can, and then some clear coat. I'm not looking for the best finish possible, I'm just looking to treat the rust for the waft. Just quickly before we get into it, I want to share a quick tip on doing rust repairs like this. So when you're going to be respraying with this stuff's not always going to be 100% paint matched, and you're going to notice where it has been painted. So the trick is you don't want any hard lines. You don't want to take this off and just sand this part and spray this part. Otherwise you'll end up with a big square of like fresh paint. You kind of want to fade it into the other paint. It'll hopefully not be too noticeable in the it'll come out looking good. So basically the next step is I'm going to be brushing on some of this stuff, which will just seal off all this bare metal and a little bit left over of this rust that I can't really get my sandpaper into. Basically just how this rust converter is working, how it turns the bare metal into the black stuff, and then I'll be able to sand away the excess and then put a layer of paint over it. So I just got the first coat of primer on here. As you can see, still got that line there, which I'm not too happy about, so I'll probably end up going back over that with some more glazing putty or something and then sanding it from there. I am going to make a start on this rust spot here, which I think is actually quite bad, but it's quite easy to get to. So I'll just start off by taking the antenna out. So I have the antenna off and I masked it all up, and I've gotten to see some more rust here where it probably leaked from the seal and then just dribbled down here and causing it to rust. But anyway, you can see what I was talking about before with the rusting, with the masking, how you just want to leave the one panel exposed so you won't have any hard lines. Like I'm not taping across here or here, so you just see the paint. So this will feather all into this panel here. But obviously you want to keep your sanding area as small as possible so it's not as obvious. So I've exposed all this rust, and as you can see here, we actually have a little hole in the middle there. I'll be treating all this rust with the rust converter, so it should be all good, and then I'll just fill in all the holes. So I've just sanded over my body filler here and it's looking quite good. I think I'll just go over it with the etch primer base and then clear now. The next morning and it has dried. Obviously it's not an amazing fix, but I'll be probably coming back over and redoing it when I respray the car, but it'll do for now. And then this is how the back turned out. I'm pretty stoked with it. You probably wouldn't notice, but this was the rust spot up here. You can see what I was saying about the tape, how if you do it along the line, even though it'll be a different color and a different gloss and stuff, it's not really too noticeable. So you just saw us fix the rust. Now it's a new day and I'm going to be focusing on getting a hole in the exhaust fixed. So there's the hole I was talking about. It's just in a weird place. I think it's been welded before and the welds broke. But yeah, we'll just give that a quick weld. It should be easy as. So there it is, patched up the hole, got a coat of paint on there as well, so she's ready to go. We'll be moving on to the seats. So as you can see, it's got some metal sticking out here, some metal sticking out here, and probably the biggest one, some metal sticking out here, and that side's pretty worn. So basically these seats are toast and you can't pass a waft like this, and I will be getting new seats, but in the meantime I'm gonna put a seat cover on it just to see if I'll pass a waft like that. I'm not too sure. If I don't pass a waft like that, I guess I have to get some new seats, but let's just see if I can deal with the seat covers. So seat covers are in. Now, before you go into the comments and tell me how hideous they look, these came with the car. So I did not go out and waste my money on these hideous seat covers. They came in the car, and I'm gonna see if they work their magic in the waft. Waiting in line for the waft now, and honestly, I don't think it's gonna pass. I know there's a the CV boot on the passenger side is torn, and it needs a new CV joint. So hopefully they don't pick up on that. And the last waft failed on like a shock bushing or something like that. The lower shock bushing. So we'll see. And also the headlight. I don't think that'll pass, but that's fine. And these seat covers are dicey. So anyway, we'll see. Just got back from the waft place, and here I have a waft sheet. I did fail, but I have failed on very minor things. So the seat covers worked. My CV boot is completely torn on this side. I don't know how they didn't see that. But what I failed on was these being all foggy. I didn't really do a good job. So you can see there's still moisture in there. I got them airing out at the moment. And then water in here, so I need to take that out. And then what else? Left front power plies. Oh, and then the right over here, when he pulled the handbrake and like the brake wouldn't disengage, so I'm just gonna, I think the plan of that, I'm just gonna take the wheel off and then clean it up and see if that fixes it. So I got those minor few things fixed up for the WAF, and she got it. I took her back that afternoon and then she just passed, so that's good. I now have warrant of fitness till the 4th of 2023. Absolutely hyped to start building this car, so what I've got planned in the next episode is most likely going to be tearing this thing down and ripping the engine out. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Absolutely hyped. But yeah, I don't know how this thing got a waff. They, it's definitely not roadworthy. That CV boot is gone. Same with the CV joint, and the seats are horrible. Anyway, I'm happy. We got 6 months of waff and rego. Stay tuned for the next video. So, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. But I did also forget to mention that all of these fixes are temporary. So I was just looking for quick temporary fixes just to pass the inspection. Most likely I will go back and redo most of the work that I've done. But yeah, I'm pumped that I got past the waff. Now it means the real work can start. Anyway, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.